build the new world with me. This is our reason. We do it together.
You are my queen, now and always.
Welcome to the Stikker Podcast with your hosts, Nikki and Steven. The Stikker Podcast starts now.
Yo. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 9 of the Stikker Podcast.
I am Nikki, a.k.a. Sicky Nikki right now.
She's going to power through this. She's not feeling well. I am Steven. And, you know, what a weekend and what a start to the week.
Celebrated our 10-year
Woo-woo.
wedding anniversary.
Double digits, baby.
I've been together for 14, married for 10.
Big deal.
You know, my voice.
That's a big
my
deal.
voice kind of sounds like 1-800.
Oh my God.
Call Nikki.
When Nikki's sick, everything falls apart.
Well, I was very productive today.
You
very
were,
productive.
which is very bizarre because you're usually like, you're not that sick. But when you're sick, you are like, when you're out of commission type of sick,
The world falls apart.
everything around here is just awful. And just, it becomes hard. The kids seem to be even worse. You are the MVP of the household. And when you get sick, it is a horrible thing.
Well, I appreciate when you take the kids to school. I mean, you objected this morning, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You will take the child to school.
That's because I was having a lot of technical difficulties on the new show that we just posted this week. We are watching Vikings.
People, if your partner is sick and they ask you to take the child to school, you take the child to school without objection.
I woke up at 5 a.m.
When you're sick
had
this
all
week,
kinds of problems,
rawr.
and was way behind on getting the video published.
20 minutes of your life to save your marriage.
Please.
Oh, see, this is a slow burn because I'm going to hold on to this information until it's pertinent. And then when you need help, I'm going to be like, oh, I can't. Sorry.
What did I do?
Just wait.
What did I do this morning?
You objected to me.
But
Just wait.
I took the kids to school.
Can you make me some toast? Hell no. Hell no. Make your own damn toast.
I still took the kids to school.
Kid.
I took the kid to school. But
One of.
yeah, so let's transition into
Marital bliss, you guys. Marital bliss.
Game of Thrones. I've got something on the top of my head that I want to talk about before we specifically jump into the season finale, the series finale.
Yeah, it's not just the season finale. That's a series
It's a series finale. And before we get into the specifics of that, I do have something that I want to talk about. I want to get something off my chest.
Do it.
It is okay, 100% fair to express your opinion, to be critical, to be upset about something that you are extremely passionate about. How do I put this?
In the nice way. In the nicest way possible.
You know, as someone who is a fan of I'm passionate about a lot of things, whether it's sports or entertainment. And if I don't like it, I'm very critical. You are 100% allowed to be critical. Especially people, Game of Thrones fans have spent years and years and years and years and years invested in this show. And the book readers have invested over 20 years into this show.
I did not realize it was 20.
Yeah, it's over. I think it's like 23.
Good God.
I think the first book was published in 96 if I got my notes
Dedication.
correct. But the idea of petitioning
Oh, here we go.
for a season to not exist irks the shit out of me.
I'm on your boat.
It makes me very upset because, again, you're fully allowed to express your opinion. You could tweet. You could post Instagram stuff. You could go on social media and blast whatever you need to blast. Get whatever you need to get off your chest. But the idea that people are petitioning this to have it removed and redone is such a massive slap in the face.
All those actors.
To the, not even just the actors.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's a small portion.
The cast and crew on a production like this is massive. There are so many people who spent insane amount of time.
They gave up their lives.
Yeah. Production is not a 9-to-5 job, y'all. It is nonstop every single day until the stuff is shot. This show, and all production for that matter, is so much bigger than just two guys. I know everyone's upset about the writing, and I know everyone is upset about the approach that D&D took to this show. But come on, y'all. The idea that you want this to not exist,
that's a little.
I'm gonna use an example. I'm a huge sports fan. I'm a Giants, New York Giants, New York Yankees, New Jersey or Brooklyn Nets. That's always going to be weird to say. But the Giants had a horrible season. They've made some questionable decisions. Does that mean I'm going to go sign a petition and be like, I want this season to not exist? No, because that would discredit all of the work, the front office, the interns, the players, all the work, all the workouts, all the film study, all the prep that they did to prepare for that season. It just didn't go your way. I'm an upset fan. Yes, I don't like that they traded certain players, got rid of certain things, did certain this, did that, whatever. Express your disgust for that. You don't have to like it. But the idea of dismissing an entire season of something just because you don't like it,
just because it didn't turn out the way you would want it.
I'm not cool with that at all.
This needs to be on your rant channel.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that fires me up a lot.
Rant worthy.
Because a lot of people really don't understand how much time and effort and how many people are behind the scenes creating this show. And if you don't know, go look up the cast and crew list. It is gigantic. There are a lot of people with a lot of roles. Like, if you didn't like Avengers Endgame, are you going to sign up? Like, you see the credits at the end of that movie?
Hell.
Like, you're going to... like,
literally everybody in the entire world was on it.
Yeah, like, it's just something that really upsets me. And now there's a petition for Benioff and Weiss to not do Star Wars. Like, come on, people.
Like, there are so many, like, real world problems that, like, it's like, sign a petition for that.
And it's like, this is their job. This is their career. This is their livelihood. You're petitioning to, like, end their career.
And there's just so many other, like, real world problems.
Yeah.
I mean, not the microphone problem.
I'm a massive Star Wars fan, as y'all know. I am fully... I'm confident that these dudes are going to do a good job with their trilogy when they get it. And they're going to get it. Like... they're going to get it regardless of how many people sign a petition. And, you know, there's other ways to express and like fight for what you want. Don't watch.
Yeah.
This finale broke another record because people were still watching it. Over, I think 1.5 million people signed this petition. Don't watch the show. Hit them where, like, potentially might really make an impact if you really want to make an impact. But signing a petition, expressing for this to not exist... I'm upset.
It grinds his gears.
It really does. It really does. And that's, I just really wanted to get that off my chest because I just feel like...
now that, like, half the viewers have stopped watching and listening.
Which is perfectly fine because it's something that needs to be said. Like, I know I'm not the only one who have said that. And I am 100% in support of people who want to express their upset. Like, if they're upset about stuff. Like, you have that right and the ability. I have a question.
Where is this petition actually going to go?
I don't know.
In the garbage?
Maybe.
Was it pointless? Why am I still touching the mic?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's an online thing. I don't know where it goes or what it does. It just basically lets everyone involved in the show know that, like,
nobody's happy.
We don't care. Like, we don't care that all your hard work created which was an amazing, like let's not get it twisted. this season of Game of Thrones is still better than probably 99% of the seasons of television that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, not the previous seasons of Game of Thrones, but like the seasons
like other
of
shows.
other shows.
Yeah, it's just pretty insane. And I just really want to get that off my chest because it's just one of those things that, like, it really does grind my gears. Because
Quotations.
I want everyone, the cast and crew, like the actors and the cinematographers and the camera dudes and the makeup folks and like
set designers,
everybody
costume.
crushed it. Like this show was like, don't get me wrong, there was a lot wrong with it. They had a lot of holes. It was clearly rushed. Like, I think that's the biggest problem, is that it was rushed. Stuff that happened within minutes of each other should have taken episodes to play out.
An entire season, damn near.
Or even an entire season. Like, it 100% should have been 6 and 7, or 7 and 8 should have both been 10 episodes without question. I don't officially know if there's a reason why that didn't happen. But there's no excuse for that, I feel like. But again, I'm not going to go sign a petition and be like, this needs to be this way. Like, it is what it is at this point. The show is over. It's canon. It's real life. The books will hopefully put a lot of people's problems at ease. I'm still pretty confident that this is going to be the outcome in the books too.
That's what he said.
He
said it's going to be pretty close to what it is.
It's just going to be more fleshed out. It's going to be, the story's going to be told better. Because again, there's no budget in a book. He could write as many words to describe things as he wants. He could use as many dragons and giants and direwolves and anything that he wants, special effects in his words. There's no budget for that. There's no time for that. And this season was insane. And another thing that
you guys are getting him in rare form today.
it just fired. This kind of stuff just fires me up. But like Benioff and Weiss, they had to finish the story of one of the most brilliant creators in the history of creation. Like what George R.R. Martin created with Game of Thrones was a masterpiece. It was amazing. And the idea that they had to try to finish his story without the books to like kind of base everything.
Yeah.
That is an insanely impossible thing to ask somebody to do, regardless of how talented you are. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to make up excuses for them. I'm just stating what I view are as facts of, it's a fact. It's not an easy thing to finish this dude's story.
Right.
Nobody could rewrite this in the same amount of time that they had. It was going to be like this. It was going to be rushed. It wasn't going to be perfect. But it is what it is. Let's just jump right into the actual episode. And, my initial reaction to the episode was very down. I was upset.
Same.
I was speechless. I didn't know how it landed with me.
I was angry.
I was more leaning towards the idea of being disappointed with the ending. But it's been a couple days now. How do you feel about the end? The actual finale a couple days later?
I'm just at the point where it is what it is. It is what it is. It happened. That's what we have. My
opinion is completely shifted.
Okay.
I am not at all disappointed. I mean, there are things in it, and I'll go through some of the issues that I personally have with the episode, but I actually like the way it all played out. Whether you like it or not, I personally feel like a lot of the main points make sense. And kind of like one thing I wanted to highlight here was Daenerys's, her vision from season 2 when she was at the House of the Undying, and we saw the vision of her walking through the throne room, all destroyed, snow falling. And then her going outside and Drogo and the baby were there.
Yeah.
That was a clear foreshadow and obvious spoiler that she was going to die. Like, that was 100% foreshadowing her death, because it was basically like, you're not going to touch the throne one, and then you're going to go meet your husband and your baby in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what that told us.
Yeah.
Which is pretty insane that
you don't get what you want, but you get what you deserve, which is Drogo and the baby.
And the snow falling is all obvious symbolism of Jon Snow keeping her off of the throne because he's the one who ended up killing her.
Oh, I thought it was ashes.
That was the big speculation, and there's actual in the script and other stuff is confirmed that it was actually snow.
Okay.
I personally always thought it was a swerve. It wasn't completely an accurate thing just because they wouldn't fully give that away in season 2. But it was clear that it was, I mean, I didn't realize that it snowed in King's Landing, but it was clearly snowing in the finale.
That's true.
That was snow.
Everything was covered in snow. Well, I mean, but then again, also they've had a 10-year summer, so.
Right. So the first thing that I really did not like, my initial reaction was kind of funny, was Bran being named King. It just...
Everybody raise your hand if you've seen a really funny meme about this.
Yeah. What is it?
Okay. It's, you were in a group participation. You didn't do any work, but you still got the A.
Yeah. Right. So at first I was just like, it doesn't make any sense. Brandon the Broken named King. But then it started clicking. I started reading comments. I rewatched some of the stuff and it was like, duh. This dude has been orchestrating this entire thing from the beginning. He has been pulling the strings, letting everyone do the work for him, like you just mentioned, and he's reaping all the benefits. He knew all along that this is how it was going to play out, and that's why he told Tyrion, well, it's why I traveled all this way. Obviously, I'll take it. I mean, is he ultimately... I kind of want to alter my heel list that I provided at the end of the episode.
Oh.
Is he the ultimate bad guy now for letting all of this happen and play out so that he could be sitting on the throne?
He let everybody fucking die.
Everybody.
Theon, he knew that he had to send Theon out to give Arya enough time to get there to kill the Night King.
Yep.
That's a dick move.
Yeah. I mean, horrible.
I can't wait to hear my voice on playback.
It doesn't sound as bad as you think it does.
Okay, it sounds awful to me.
It is one of those things where it's like this dude is like a savage.
Yeah.
That was crazy, but it after letting it kind of digest and letting everything sink in, it makes sense that Brandon is on the throne. It's still not my favorite idea. The fact that Tyrion was like, who has a better story than Bran the Broken? Well, a lot of people do.
Jon Snow.
Arya's got a better story. Sansa's got a better story. Theon had a better story.
The other meme that I saw is they're all oh yeah, Bran's gonna be king, but he can't father children. Well, Sansa says, but he can't father children. It's basically Sansa's putting it out on blast.
Oh yeah. His stuff don't work.
His dick is broken.
Yeah. And this is leading right into the next thing that bugged me. Well, I'm not really talking about things that bugged me yet. Talking about things that make sense. When we wrapped up the episode, we were both like, oh, well, Jon being a Targaryen means absolutely nothing. It meant nothing.
I mean, it did. I get it.
It was used as a pawn to get Daenerys out of her position.
Right.
Again, something set up and created by Brandon to put all of this in motion. Brandon brought Jon's lineage to light to all the right people that he knew would get back to Daenerys, which would then set her off. I just wish...
So it's Bran's fault that she went mad. No,
I mean, yeah, he set up the whole thing to cause it to happen. He
true.
Put it all in motion. Everything that happened, he's put into motion.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to mean a little bit more than just a tool to get the current queen out of power.
I mean, legit, because all of my notes and everything, deducting on who his parents were and Rhaegal.
Mm-hmm.
Rhaegar.
That'll forever be...
He's a Baratheon?
Yeah, that'll forever be a historic moment.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Forever.
Great. I'm super excited about it.
Yes.
But, all that buildup, all that, for it to just not be some grand thing.
Like, it didn't have, like, thinking back, it didn't have to be a big grand thing.
It did for me.
I just wanted it to mean more. I wanted it to have more importance and more meaning than just Brandon's tool to make Daenerys go crazy, burn everything down, and then ultimately have her fall. Like, I wanted it to be more than that. I didn't need it to be more than I didn't need it to be this big, grand, crazy thing.
I just wanted it to be, though.
I wanted it to be acknowledged more. That's for one.
I wanted everybody to know.
Yeah, and
no one else knows.
I have that written down as something that we're going to talk about. But the last thing that bugged me was how anticlimactic I initially felt John's ending was.
Right.
But in reality, it's exactly what he wanted. It's exactly where he should have. Like,
so I was on to something.
With what?
When I was like, oh, he's going to become a wildling.
Well, he might. I saw, like, I've seen comments that he's going to be Lord Commander. He's going to be the king north of the wall. Like, I've seen all, like, it wasn't clear exactly what he was doing, but he's probably going to go live north and way north with Ghost and Tormund and go do his thing, because he had told Tormund that he wished he could go with him. That's where he belongs. He wants to be free. I picked out a comment about that we'll talk about.
I have another meme for that one.
What's that?
It was like, yeah, bye, Grey Worm. Okay, John, he's gone. It's safe now. You could stay.
Yeah, which is, we could just jump into the stuff that bugged me outside of the idea of everything being rushed. We know that.
Yeah.
We don't need to beat a dead horse. Sorry, Nikki.
Rude.
We know it was rushed. We know that's the biggest issue dealing with this season. But specifically talking about John and him ultimately ending up where he ended up makes sense. I just wish how they got from point A to point B was different.
Yeah.
The fact that Grey Worm was ultimately the one... now you got me coughing. That Grey Worm was ultimately the one responsible making the decision on John's future.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. It wasn't the idea that John went north to go be with Ghost and Tormund and the Wildlings and whatever else he was doing. It's the idea that it wasn't necessarily his decision. He was banished to the wall.
Yeah.
Which is what bugged me. The idea that he didn't get to present an argument. The fact that no one in that little council even mentioned him.
I know.
Or even knew who they don't know who he is.
No, they don't.
So clearly Varys' messages didn't get out to anyone, because that goes back to John's lineage. I wanted somebody at that meeting to be like, how about Aegon Targaryen for king? And then give him the option to be like, no, I'm going to go north. I'm leaving. I don't want any more politics. I don't want any more of this responsibility. That's how I would have wanted it to play out. Especially if they... Like, another thing that bugged me was the fact that Tyrion was able to just completely change the entire process and no one questioned him once about it. But, like, if they're doing this new voting thing, why couldn't John...
Sam, it was Sam's idea.
Right. I mean, he gets laughed at, and then Tyrion presented it, and everyone thinks it's a great idea. Obviously, Sam's was more about let the people vote. But the idea, like, they had this system in place, John could have just been like, no, I nominate him. Vote for him or something else. Like, he could have pulled himself, like, because they altered the way the system was created, John could have easily just turned it down and be like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go be happy north and free as a wildling or whatever it is that he wants to do. Mm-hmm. And he could have easily just removed himself and made the decision his to leave, not someone else's.
I would prefer the way, that you're talking about.
That I ultimately... Yes, the end for John made sense. That's where he belongs. It's what he wants. It's what's in his heart.
Right.
He could finally stop fighting wars and leading people and being responsible for stuff, and he could just go live and be free with his dog. Sorry, direwolf.
I'm like, oh, what? Did you just call a direwolf a dog?
Yeah. And the last thing that I kind of jotted down that bugged me was the idea that, like, they're going through, all of these great leaders are there. By the way, apparently, I'm drawing a blank. I've been talking about him for months.
Yes.
Reed.
Yeah.
Howell and Reed I've been talking about him showing up forever. Apparently he was sitting in that meeting.
Oh, well, they didn't introduce anybody.
He was there, and I'm just like, I would have loved to have heard from him after all these years, but I guess it didn't matter. The fact that all these really smart people with air quotes, just let Sansa make the decision that the North was going to be independent. Wouldn't, like, the Iron Islands, like, be like, why didn't Yara be like, I want to be free too, I want to be independent?
Right.
Like,
that would have made sense too.
No one else questioned that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait, why do you get to be a free, independent nation, but we can't be?
It's just because you're a Stark or what?
I guess just because she said it's been that way for thousands of years. And everyone's like, okay, cool.
I feel like the Iron Islands, should be their own thing.
Or even like, I don't know, like
let Yara run her shit.
A lot of those, I guess you could call them nations, like countries, whatever they are. Like, I'm sure they'd want to houses. I'm sure they'd want to be independent too.
Yeah.
But you know,
then without create wars.
Sansa in the North is special. Mm-hmm. The other thing that was kind of funky, going back to Grey Worm, I get the idea that Brandon couldn't free him because it would create a war. And you mentioned it in your little meme joke. Mm-hmm. These dudes left.
Yeah.
They were not sticking around. So exactly what war would have been started if Jon just stuck around?
Right. If they would have been like, okay, he's gone.
Yeah. Like,
it's cool.
The Grey Worm would have never found out. The Unsullied bounced.
Yeah, they're like, deuces, we're going to North.
So...
Which sounds like somebody from Boston talking about they're going north.
Yeah.
Going North.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, those are kind of... Those are what I kind of gathered in terms of things that bugged me when I watched them, and then they bugged me. They still bug me, but overall... I thought it was a good end. Everyone's story pretty much got a conclusion.
Right.
I mean, it is kind of interesting. I want to know where Arya is going. And
I was going to say, I was like, that's a story that didn't really get... I need to know.
She's just bouncing.
Where did she go?
She's just going, what's west of Westeros, and she's going to go find out. Sansa is now the queen in the North, and every time these dudes do that with the swords and the cheering, like,
Queen in the North.
I love it so much.
Yeah, that was pretty long.
It's so cool.
Her getup, oh, gorgeous.
I mean, she always looks on point without question.
I mean, like, and knowing that the leaves that were on her dress is like the leaves that were on the tree, I was like, oh, fuck yes, that's amazing.
I mean, she definitely looks like somebody who should be in charge.
Yeah.
And you know, I think she'll be a good leader. I think she's had so much experience. She's learned. She's got a lot of stuff to pick and choose from. Who did things right? Who did things wrong? Like, I think she's in a really good position now to be a strong leader and do what's best for the North. And obviously, she made one decision immediately and was like, "We're going to be independent," and she got what she wanted.
We're going to be our own shit
without any question.
I want more story. I want to know what happens now.
Yeah, I mean, I have a really funny. One of the last comments that we're going to hit on is kind of something along those lines. So we'll jump into that. So let's just start off with comments and we'll kind of talk about it, share our thoughts on the comment, and go from there like we usually do. John Knapp, 1988. Even though I knew it was going to happen, seeing that scene with Jon killing Dany and Drogon's reaction still made me depressed.
So I wasn't actually that upset about Jon killing Daenerys, only because of like all the shit that she did and killed the children and then tried to defend herself because she killed children. And
she tried to justify
innocent people and animals in that entire kingdom that nobody deserved to die.
Right.
So I actually wasn't that upset about Jon killing Daenerys, and I feel like Jon should have killed Daenerys. Like, that was like his job.
I actually think
But Drogon. Oh.
I think I actually predicted that Jon was gonna, like, I was in a Deadpool at work where you pick 10 to 1, most confident death 10 down to 1, and how they die or who kills them. And like after episode 5, I went to the guy who was in charge of the pool. I'm like, can I change my Deadpool to Jon killing Daenerys? And he's like, no. But like, I thought that made the most sense for him to do it. It was still a shocking moment because I didn't fully expect it to happen in the middle of the episode, even though it made the most sense for it to happen there.
Right.
It just didn't feel, because again, it was a rushed moment. I didn't fully expect it to happen then, and I said this after the episode, but it kind of felt like the whole episode, like the life of the episode was completely just sucked out of it, because it was just like one of those moments that was like, ugh. So
well, that was definitely the climax of the episode.
Yeah, it was definitely something
from there.
It was definitely something that I expected to happen, but I still like when I was watching back our reaction, like I was still shocked by the moment because it was one of those things where I thought it was going to happen. It made sense that he did it, but it was still just like, holy shit, it actually happened kind of thing. And it happened in that moment so quickly. It was just like, okay, wow. But yeah, the whole Drogon thing.
But I mean, Drogon, he knew what's up, man. He knew that Iron Throne only causes problems.
You want to read this one?
I wasn't done talking.
Well, I'm just going to lead into that, what you're talking about, so you can keep going.
Comment from Nicole. Is it Gerald? I literally had the same reaction when Drogon took Dany. What an emotional but beautiful scene. It was. Like, he's carrying his mom around. But like, yeah, he had the right idea by melting the Iron Throne. It only causes chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos is a ladder.
Yeah, and
now it's chaos is a ramp.
Yeah. That's not funny though.
Why?
I don't know. It is funny. That's pretty good.
Bran has to go up a ramp now. He can't go up a ladder.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, that whole Drogon situation, and like
he was like, "Mom, wake up."
He was smarter.
Get up.
Yeah, he was smarter than everyone else. He knew that his mama's drive for that throne drove her absolutely insane, because that's what power and ambition and drive can do to some people, I guess. But the next comment, I picked a few of these talking about Dany and Drogon just because it was such a insanely iconic moment.
Yeah.
Susie Q cried my butt off when Drogon cried for Dany. Like hearing Drogon cry was just, every time they screech like that when something bad happens, that's so awful. And when he carried her lifeless body away, the symbolism of the throne being burned was epic and tragic. Drogon had more sense than anyone.
Yep, it's true. He did.
So true.
I agree.
And it's just one of those things where now there's a dragon just flying around.
Just chilling.
Just chilling.
That's the other thing. Bran, let us watch you warg into Drogon? No. Suck.
Just gonna wheel me away as let these folks do their thing over
Long
here.
may he reign.
Yeah. Sure.
Eric William. Bran pardons Tyrion and makes him hand to the king. Bran sentences his brother to life imprisonment, even though he is the one true king. What a joke.
Yeah, I picked that one just because I thought
Eric.
I thought it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Just the idea that the Unsullied and all these fools were bouncing.
Yeah.
Brandon could have just been like, yeah, he's gonna stay in the cell forever, and then like, oh, okay, you guys are leaving, cool, John. Like, I know you don't want to be king, you don't need to be king, but I'm not gonna sentence you to a life of whatever. Like, you can make the decision to do what you want.
You're gonna have to be alone. You're gonna have to be alone for the rest of your life. It just.
I feel like, I
don't think you can find another love like Ygritte and Daenerys, but
I mean, it goes back to what
Thurman.
Grandmaster Aemon told him in the conversation. Like, it's ultimately what Jon was meant to do. But again, I just wanted to be more on his own terms.
Yeah.
Ivar, Bran, king of the Six Kingdoms, Sansa, queen of the North, Jon, king of the Free Folk, if that's true, and Arya, queen of the New World, which I think is a bit of a stretch. I think it's nice to think that if she goes and finds west of Westeros and just is the person in charge, that'd be great.
She'd be whooping booty.
But I know Ivar's point here is that the Starks won.
Yeah?
They obviously there's no throne anymore, but they won.
Yep.
Papa Ned would be very proud of them.
I feel like he would. I feel like he may have been a little upset at Jon for killing Daenerys.
Bran for letting all that play
punking
out.
Everyone.
Just letting all these hundreds of thousands of people just die.
Yeah.
Well, actually more than that, because between Battle at Winterfell and the destruction of King's Landing, who knows how many people died.
Thanks, Bran.
Yikes. Crazy. Spartan Bobo. Jon was absolutely Prince absolutely the prince who was promised. He stabbed his beloved in the heart, and Drogon set the swords on fire, basically being the symbolism for Lightbringer, that banished darkness from the realm. There was always, I was reading a lot about this just because it's still something I want to understand more.
Yeah.
But the prophecy about the prince that was promised was always assumed that it was about the White Walkers and the Night King bringing this long darkness, aka winter. In reality, it ended up being Daenerys and her destruction that was bringing this darkness.
Yeah.
So ultimately, like, it was one of those things where, again, there wasn't enough time to fully like flesh out the story in the show. I'm pretty positive George is going to flesh it out in his book. But Jon, with his actions, absolutely fulfills the prophecy of the prince that was promised. It's just one of those things where you wish it was kind of focused on a little bit more, because it was kind of a pretty big story for a while in the show. And it's huge in the books. Like, it's a big deal in the books.
Like, do you think Melisandre would have been like, yep, I'm going to bring you back so you can kill somebody?
I mean, that's ultimately...
the prince that was promised.
And that's ultimately, I mean, that was even Barrick's thing, to save someone to go kill someone.
Yeah, so that other people
That's why
don't
he kept
die.
getting brought back to life, so that Arya could kill the Night King.
Right.
Like, that's ultimately what their purpose is, to come back to life, to ultimately kill someone. Or have someone they're protecting kill someone.
Yeah, I just,
You want to read that one?
Is that an L or an I?
I-O.
Is that I-O Thaw? I don't know.
Didn't work for me. That's why I have her read all the hard names.
I'm like, I don't know. Brienne finishing Jaime's story in the White Book was the most beautiful part of this episode.
That was great.
That was. I really liked her new little sigil that she had on her.
Oh, I didn't notice.
It was like a heart, but it was like blended with like the Stark. It was,
I got to go back and look that up, because
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
That was really neat.
I did see a whole bunch of comments where they were hoping that Brienne was going to write in the book that he fathered a baby of Brienne of Tarth.
That'd be cool.
Something to that extent, which would have been pretty fun. But yeah, ultimately, like, Brienne doing that for him, it was great. I said it during the episode, like, screw you, Joffrey, because he was talking shit to Jaime about he's going to have, like, the worst story in the book.
Oh, here's a really good one.
It's going to end up being a really good one, especially if Brienne is the one writing it. Like,
she's amazing.
Yeah. She's...
Sir Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, and then she knighted Podrick, is the theory. Again, something that we didn't get to see. We just...
Heard.
Like, Sir Podrick. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't catch on to that originally.
And he was in the King's Guard. So,
yeah,
good for Podrick. Brienne, though, like, she's easily one of the best characters in this show. She went down
totes
and just always, I felt like she always had such great intentions in everything that she was trying to do.
Talk about the most honorable.
Totally. I mean, except for Jon, because, I mean, the dude just couldn't lie about anything.
He really couldn't.
Especially, this is another thing. Jon's honor was so thick and so heavy and consumed him so much that he couldn't bullshit his way out of, like, not telling someone about Daenerys. He was by himself in the throne room. Drogon took her body away somewhere we don't even know where, but somehow he still got in prison for the death of Daenerys.
I know, he could have been like, yeah, she just got on the dragon and took off.
That dude totally went down back to the group and was just like, hey, Grey Worm, I just murdered Daenerys. I couldn't live with it. I had to tell you. It's like, dude, Jon, come on.
You can keep some stuff to yourself.
Something.
Yeah.
He can't keep any secrets.
Nope.
That's another thing that was just like, dude.
Jon, nope.
No, like, he couldn't lie about anything.
It's not Jon Snow. It's Jon Nope.
Jon Snow.
This is not an ASMR channel. Look at this. Look at the wavelength on the computer screen. Stop. You're fucking with people.
Jon Snow.
I hate you.
Jeffrey Moat. The end to Jon's story is bittersweet. He was forced to kill his queen and someone he loved in order to save the world from her. Mm-hmm. But he ends up with Ghost and Thurman going north to live as a free man away from the politics and drama. Being north of the wall was probably the only time in the show where he ever truly felt free and happy.
It's true. It's true.
I mean,
I had a feeling like when they shut the door and he looked back and just like looked forward, it was like, is he going to become a wildling?
I totally agree with you that he, like, after rewatching that, like, he 100%, like, he's not good. He already died for the Night's Watch. He ain't going back there.
No, he said his watch is over.
But this comment makes me remember his conversation that he had with Sansa about just, like, he was getting really fired up. Like, I don't want, like, I've done nothing but fight. Like, when the moment he left Winterfell in episode 1, he had basically been fighting the entire time. So it totally makes sense that he could go kind of just chill and relax now.
Yeah.
In the freezing cold.
Maybe find another egret. Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, there were plenty of wildlings walking with him into the forest, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure Jon wouldn't...
I want him to be in a relationship. I want to see baby Johns.
Yeah. Here's the funny post-episode thought. Joshua Rodriguez. Reboot 10 years from now. Dario Naharis, ruler of Maureen and the Bay of Dragons, a.k.a. Slaver's Bay, versus the Starks. He kills Bran to avenge Dany and takes over Westeros, starting a war over Sansa, Queen of the North, Jon, King Beyond the Wall, and Arya, Conqueror of the World thing again. That would be actually a pretty interesting story.
That would be bomb AF. Let's do it. Start shooting right now.
That would actually totally make a lot of sense if...
I know. I totally thought that we were going to see some Dario.
He didn't show up at all.
No, he's done. He was gone. Dunzo.
We didn't get any Dario. We didn't get any Jack and Hagar. We didn't get any Sorio. There were a lot of things that obviously the main core all had their stuff wrapped up. Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like the cameo folks that we never officially saw die or officially saw an end to their story.
Right.
Like, I for sure thought some of these folks were going to show back up at some point.
Yeah. I got an Instagram comment. And it was like, no, don't worry. He's going to be with Ghost. And Sorio, he's on the boat waiting for Arya. And I'm like, what?
I was totally expecting that.
Sorio be on the boat?
Somebody from Arya's past to show up there.
And be like, hey, girl.
Yeah, like, totally expecting. Because Jon got to reunite with Ghost. Sansa basically reunited with her people and got to take her rightful place as Lady of Winterfell, Queen in the North. And Arya's just on a boat by herself.
But she's doing what she wants to do.
She is.
Because that's not her.
Right, that's not what I mean, though. Like, everyone got to reunite and kind of be with somebody or something that, kind of started them off. And I totally was hoping it was going to be one of those just like, type moments. Yeah. If you saw someone from Arya's past show up there. But didn't happen.
Yeah, I wanted to see Ghost and Nymeria.
Never saw Nymeria again?
No, they don't have
bullshit.
Well, and to come to find out, one of the scene where Jon goes up to Ghost is actually a reused scene.
I heard that's actually not true.
Okay, good. Thank God. But also positive. That he didn't go up to Ghost in that last episode because of a budget.
Oh.
And I'm like,
they had a lot of dragon.
Come on, though.
That dragon CGI probably was no joke in terms of the budget.
Help me out.
It's one of those things
where... I'm so disappointed.
It's one of those things, like, don't even bring Nymeria back in that moment with Arya and to show that she has a whole pack. If we weren't going to...
Well,
I feel like we could have... Obviously, Arya had that moment with Nymeria where she's like, nope, that's not you, and that's not you, girl. Like we had that whole moment. But still, like, talk about, like, a tease. Like, getting the chance to see Nymeria and her pack just wreck shop on something would have been amazing. But again, all the CGI budget went to the dragons.
I know, and I just wish
or to Drogon.
Ghost been with his family and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I didn't notice
he
in
will
the
on-
last episode that Ghost was missing an ear.
Yeah.
I didn't notice until
In the battle.
Sunday's episode.
Battle of Winterfell, when he was standing there and we were all mad that Jon didn't acknowledge him. He had...
Yeah, I didn't
ear
even... I was just glad to see him. I didn't even catch that he was missing a damn ear. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. That was...
Poor baby.
Hey, if that's the worst thing that he lost, cool.
That's true.
Did you hear this, that there was another prop slip up?
Yeah, with the water bottles.
Come on, guys. I know.
It's hot out there. I know.
I know you got a lot going on, but Starbucks and a water bottle.
Yeah.
Wow.
Come
Within
on.
like a few episodes of each other. That's
2
pretty
water
amazing.
bottles. 1 for Sam, 1 for Davos.
Yeah, before we read this last question, do you have any other thoughts about the season and the series as a whole?
I just wish that it wasn't so rushed. I
Yeah.
mean, I liked everything. I just wish that it was expanded upon and just drawn out completely so
Yeah.
that there was more detail.
Like old Game of Thrones, that Jon and Tyrion conversation would have lasted at least half of an episode, and then Jon would have probably been like debating, what to
mulling it
do
over,
for
yeah.
at least the other half of the episode, and then maybe in an episode or two, he would go find Daenerys, go meet with her, and then take her out.
No, that would have been like the next season.
Right. It would have at least taken a few episodes back in the day for that to play out.
Yeah.
But seriously though, how amazing, like regardless if you agree or disagree with what Tyrion actually did in that episode in terms of the way he just, shifted everything, comes out of prison, changes everything, and everyone just agrees with him.
Yeah.
Like how amazing was Peter Dinklage's performance?
Oh, he's awesome.
He is so good.
He was great.
He is so good. Like he is so good. So good.
But the one thing, like when we're using memes and stuff, the one thing that always pops up is when he's like doing his little dance.
Oh yes.
When he's on trial.
I mean, some of his performance in the last few episodes lives up to that, in my opinion. His trial speech that he had.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that shit was epic.
Stuff.
That was amazing. And I feel like, the conversation that he and Jon had was so good. Some of the best stuff that we've had in a while. Like, as down as you might be about certain things and certain writing and certain storytelling, like, I feel like that moment between Jon and Tyrion was so great.
Yeah.
And again, I just wish it was a little bit more drawn out. I wish that Jon... The other funny thing about that scene, these dudes are literally yelling about killing Daenerys, and at one point, the door is actually open. Do these Unsullied dudes not speak common tongue at all?
I think
Some of them do. And it's like...
Yeah, but... Okay. But they didn't, like, really come out and say it, though.
They
kind of danced around.
Tyrion was pretty clear.
Okay, but Jon actually never said it.
Jon
He said
did.
that's treason.
Yeah.
So he danced around it, so it never actually got said.
Yeah.
That just
But
hit the mic again.
They're having that conversation pretty loud in front of guards.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, whatever. And,
You can't do anything about something that hasn't happened yet.
Daenerys, her performance this season, or this, like, especially the last couple episodes.
Love her.
I was fully convinced. Like, it didn't take a lot. Like, I saw all the development. I saw all the foreshadows. I saw all the seeds that were planted about her. I was fully anticipating her to go mad at some point. Maybe not like this, but I was expecting it. And she absolutely, Emilia Clarke, she absolutely
hit it out of the
sold
park. Yeah.
that shit. Mm-hmm. Like, even in the last episode, like, she was like smiling and she's like, oh, we're gonna go do this and do that.
It's gonna be a good world.
And it's like,
I'm just like, oh.
Jon's like, seriously, you torched innocent children.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, well.
That's because Cersei made me do it.
Yeah.
She made me do it.
Just the fact, like, I was so convinced in her brain getting twisted that, like, there was no question that if someone didn't bend the knee at that moment, they were done.
Yeah.
She had gotten to the point where it's like, you disagree with me, you're done. I don't care who, what, when, where, why, or how, she was going to just use her weapon of mass destruction and just destroy you. That's where she, like, and I was like, she is bad. I never really actually wanted her to go bad.
No.
But she...
I loved her. I do love her still.
She ended up making a great villain at the end.
Did.
Like, just because she was, like, small...
I'm disappointed in her actions.
Like, she was small and cute, and, like, she always spoke with a lot of power. But, like, she was always horrifying because of what she had at her fingertips. She always was such a powerful person, and just... The moment that switch, I never do say that right. The switch got flipped, the flip got switched. The moment that switch got flipped, first time speaking, I think did I say it right that time?
I can't hear you.
The switch flipped. It was like,
I'm all stuffed up.
It was just like, wow, that is 100% sell job. You were crushing that role.
And those eyebrows.
So expressive, as you say.
Yes.
Very expressive. So
he gets drunk and rolls my socks.
I mean, Maisie Williams. I mean, you could go down the list of all the actors in this show, but like her role as Arya Stark was so spectacular. Yeah. I mentioned this in the video before, but like she started basically in my eyes as nothing. She was just a little kid. Little annoying girl just running around wanting to be one of the boys, like punking all of them with their crossbow, bow and arrow, just little kid running around, turning into the most badass character on the show.
Almost dying.
Going blind.
Straight up G.
Learning how to take people's faces. Oh, that was another letdown. Yeah. The fact that she never used a face to kill someone.
I wanted her to use Baelish's face.
Maybe she kind of got rid of that life when she said that I'm Arya Stark of Winterfell and she's not knowing anymore.
I know, but like...
But I mean, she threatened Sansa with it.
But no, Sansa still found a face. Yeah. Like, I just... Come on!
Yeah, I really wanted to see her pull that off again because I still firmly stand by the fact that she had the best kill on the whole show.
Oh, yeah.
When she eliminated Walder Frey and all the House Frey.
Hell yeah.
That was the best kill of the whole show. I mean, and then she kills it. Like obviously the Night King kill was simple and whatever. That was, a lot of people didn't buy it.
Should we get a Jenna Marbles in there? Hell yeah.
But her being Walder Frey and taking out all of House Frey and avenging the Red Wedding was the best kill in the show.
Yeah, that was so
cool. I mean, the actors...
Like, everybody drink up.
You guys absolutely crushed it. Regardless of the rushed season, this, that, whatever you want to talk about.
That's not on them.
The actors did their part. They crushed it. And, shout out to my dude, Jon Snow.
His name is Kit Harington.
He's Jon Snow to me forever.
His name is Aegon Targaryen.
He's not, though, because no one knows that.
It's true.
He is forever going to end his life as a bastard with a bastard's name.
That's so fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is. That's the part that I always kind of also bugged me. Is like, that's not fair that he has to live his life as a bastard when he's not.
Well, okay, so then also, like, he could have, like, Bran could have been like, you know what? Before you go, brother.
Jon Stark.
Cousin. I'd like to make you like a full-on either a Targaryen or Stark, whatever he wanted to be.
Make him Jon Stark. That would have been dope. And then banish him. Shoo, Jon Stark, go live north with your direwolf and your giant ginger friend.
Tormund, how dare you call him a ginger friend?
He's amazing.
I'm offended.
Tormund is the man.
He is the man. Freaking love him.
So
although, I mean, Tormund did bad things too.
Of course he did. But
we've been reminded of that.
He's been long redeemed for a long time now. But last comment, a sad one. Zedro69. The real tragedy here is that this is the last time we will get to watch Nikki and Steven react to a Game of Thrones episode. I don't watch any other show reaction, so this will be goodbye for now. till the spinoffs maybe, which we will absolutely watch and react to for show. Thanks for being my favorite Game of Thrones reactors on YouTube. Again, Nikki is the GOAT. I agree that Nikki is the greatest of all time. We would not be here 100% if it wasn't for her emotion and connection and her dedication to like, she's an emotional, like, everything in
basket case, crazy person.
I would not say
lunatic.
That. But like, this just her in her nature. She's a very emotional, caring person. It's just who she is.
Ever since I was little, anytime any type of animal would get hurt on TV or whatever, I was just a wreck.
But you care about a lot of things. It's not just animals. But like, just how great it is.
If I get mad, I cry. If I get upset, I cry. If I cry. You
should have heard her when we were watching Endgame. Like, she was sobbing like a little baby in that movie. But it's not a bad thing.
Anybody with real emotions was crying during Endgame. Spoiler alert.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just trying to make the point that if it was me under these same circumstances by myself, we would not be here right now. This would not be the case.
You're editing though.
Still, you are. I enjoy editing these videos so much because you are so entertaining.
Well, there is sometimes when he'll be editing and like giggling, and I'm like, "What is happening over there? What are you doing?"
Like there was a moment. It was this last episode. I don't know if you heard me because now I'm editing in a different area of the room now.
We got him a desk, y'all. Yeah. We got him a desk.
I've upgraded.
Instead of the floor, now he sits at a desk.
Yeah, and I'm PC now. But you were talking about Tyrion when Dany was giving her speech to everyone, and like I think you said it like 4 times.
Oh, did
you're like, "What are you doing, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing? What are you gonna do, buddy? Buddy, what are you doing?" And then you're like, "Oh my God, Tyrion's gonna do something bad. He's gonna get hurt." And it's just like you get in these modes where you're so focused and just in the moment. It's great. It is just so great. It's just like I don't even think you realized you said that 4 times.
No.
You said buddy like
now that you mentioned it, now I'm going to have to go back and watch it.
I think I might have cut one out just to protect you.
I know. People hate it. But it's like, dude, you're watching a reaction channel.
Yeah.
You want to see me react to something? That's how I react.
Yeah, Nikki, regardless if the camera's on or not, this is how she acts.
Except for we're in a movie theater and other people are paying those damn high prices to watch a movie, I would not say shit.
Like, she can't sit and watch like Saw. Like, I always want to put Saw on TV.
Fuck that.
I can't watch Goodfellas around her.
I'm like, does he die? Does this one die?
There's just certain.
Is he gonna die?
There's just certain moments where like she just can't handle certain moments. Or if we're watching like Anchorman, like
I have to repeat everything.
Everything. It's just how
it's so funny.
It's exactly who she is.
Thanks, babe, for sticking up for me.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's entertaining. And I said this.
That is something I do also appreciate is when people leave shitty ass comments and you come to my defense. I'm like, you know what? That's fucking right.
I will stand up for you all day, every day against anybody.
Thanks, honey.
But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again until this channel is no more. We are here because of you, because of I'm not going to do any spoilers for Walking Dead, but because of your reaction to a certain moment in season 7 of The Walking Dead.
Season 7, episode 1.
Yeah. We are here because of you, and you are the star of the show. I'm just there to set you up, and, You
keep the conversation going. Without you, I literally would be like, so we're going to watch a show. And
that's why we work so good together, because
here we go.
I come from a broadcast background, so I know how to set up the start of a video. I know how to wrap up a video. I know how to interview, and like I'm basically interviewing. I try to interview.
I mean, I'm way more comfortable in front of the camera with you. I still on my own channel. I cannot. I'm like, so what's up, guys?
Yeah.
How was your workout? So
I think we're a great tandem, but you are without question, the star of the show. So
thanks, dear. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
And the other reason we are here is because of all of you, without question.
79,000 subscribers.
Yeah. And
he was like, how do you feel about 78 the other day? And I was like, you're joking. And then this morning he's like, how do you feel about 79?
Yeah.
I was like, WTF?
Yeah,
question mark.
Y'all are amazing. And
are you like 1,000? Like 79,000.
It's like the moment we started this Game of Thrones journey, it was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I was a little intimidated at first, just because I know, like I've heard the dudes at work talk about this. I always goofed on them and made fun of them and would just walk out of the room when they started talking about it on a Monday. But like I know how passionate, like obviously based off of the requests we got on our channel to watch this show, it was clear how passionate this fan base is. And so like I was intimidated at first, just being like, we're going to fuck this up. This show's complicated. We're going to mess, like, and we did mess up a lot. We messed up a lot of stuff. And like, yeah, you guys gave us a lot of shit, but 99% of the comments and the stuff out there was all super supportive. So thank you all very much for welcoming us in this world. It was life-changing. Not even an exaggeration. It literally changed our life. And, you know, we're grateful. We are very, very grateful for all of you.
100%.
All of those moderators that worked on the Game of Thrones with us, you all know who you are. I mean,
there was a lot of you.
Yeah, we had like 9, and we were only spoiled on one thing.
Due to my fault again.
Right.
We always say this.
Ned's death was
spoiler alert.
Spoiled. Yeah, if you're listening to this,
and to every single person that ever sent us a gift,
yes,
sent us a card, sent us a letter, sent us anything, sent us a message, and everything. We are so truly blessed. Like very lucky. I have got an entire shelf full of all of my favorite characters, like Funko Pops and figurines and books and cards and letters and little trinkets and letter writing and quills and ink and everything.
The Stikker
that you
fam,
could ever possibly think of.
The Stikker fam, House Sava, is the best fan base in the history of YouTube without any question. You guys are all absolutely amazing. And if you're new, welcome. I hope we can make you happy. I hope we could distract you from anything. I hope we could just give you some entertainment while watching some TV shows.
God, there's so many things more I could name off. My costumes, my wig, your costume.
That's going to forever be one of my favorite episodes.
Clothes.
For the kids.
Stuff for the kids.
Yeah, greatest community
Our
ever.
oldest one wore her little dragon shirt to school the other day.
Yeah, she sure did. So, yes. And just everyone out there, again, it was an absolute honor to be able to watch this show and share our journey with you guys. And, you know, it was awesome. But that being said, this sounds like a goodbye.
I know
this
it
is
does.
not a goodbye.
We're not going anywhere.
We've got a lot still to come on our channel. We just started Vikings. We're going to start Better Call Saul. We're doing Cobra Kai. We're going to hit up Stranger Things when the summer comes. Star Wars has a new show coming. Of course, we're going to watch Star Wars. The Mandalorian looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings has a show coming out. We're going to absolutely watch the spinoff Game of Thrones show without question.
Yeah.
I'm
so excited about that.
We're going to find all of the space to put all this stuff in. So just one last time, thank you all very much from the bottom of our hearts. We are so grateful to be part of this, this journey and in this community now. I know we haven't been watching 10 years or 20 plus like a lot of you folks out there, but we invested a lot of time and effort into watching these episodes, and
a lot of sleepless nights.
I fully feel like, you guys welcomed us in the community. It's great. So thank you all very much. And just a quick reminder, we still have one more Game of Thrones thing to do left, and we might react to more stuff. Like, Game of Thrones doesn't end. We still got a bunch of dope comps and stuff that we could revisit.
Although some of that stuff gets blocked and claimed also.
You can't react to an entire video without it getting claimed. It's just the rules. But we will have our Game of Thrones wrap party, just like we did with Breaking Bad. The wrap party live stream will probably be on Saturday night. That's probably what makes the most sense for us. We will send an official update later this week just to let you all know. But get your questions ready. Get your everything ready. And
get your drinks ready. Get your food ready.
Yes. Come party with us Saturday night. Talk Game of Thrones from season 1, episode 1, all the way to the finale. We're going to talk about
unless you have something better to do.
Nothing better to do. Don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. You got nothing better to do than come live stream with us. So, yes, we're going to do that probably Saturday night. Just keep your eyes open for some kind of alert in the community tab. And if you're not familiar, the community tab will hold all the information that you could possibly need in terms of schedule and updates and stuff like that. And of course,
Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter at Nikki Steve React. Also on Instagram at Nikki Steve React. Same thing. No N in my name. Nikki Steve React. And yeah, if you're listening to this on iTunes, give us a review. How about you give us a rating? That stuff helps a lot. Supposedly.
Hopefully a nice one.
Yeah, please give us a
Otherwise,
nice one.
ouch, that really hurt.
Yeah, don't be mean. I mean, you could be mean. Just, don't be mean. But yeah, just rate us, review us on iTunes. It's very helpful stuff. And we're going to keep this podcast going. We're going to keep talking about a lot of fun stuff. We got a good list.
Yeah, because I actually get to talk.
Yeah, and we're going to compile more stuff and keep the conversation going. So do you have any other thoughts before we wrap up our last Game of Thrones recap?
No, I am sick of being sick.
Yeah.
And the laundry is piled up. I can't handle it. I'm done.
All right, y'all. That's going to do it for episode 9 of the Stikker Podcast. We will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.
You've been listening to the Stikker Podcast with your hosts, Nikki and Steven. Follow them at Nikki Steve React on Instagram and Twitter.